you sometimes forget the other MVP on the team. Rockets win 122-117. Nick, who's got the better shot to come out of the West between these two teams, Rockets or Clippers?
Once again, I'm going to revisit what I said at the beginning of the year. Houston, because the ceiling is higher because of the variance of three-point shooting. Either of these teams, to my eye, and to the standings, and to the metrics, and to the numbers, are significantly inferior to the Lakers. So how do you beat the Lakers? Add some randomness to it.
Three-point shooting.
Three-point shooting.
Right.
And the Rockets, last night, by the way, won the game without that. Both teams shot 37 threes. The Clippers made 16. The Rockets made 14. So last night wasn't one of those nights where the Rockets go 23 of 50.
And that's without Lou Williams really doing much because he got thrown out.
Thrown out early in the fourth quarter. So he was around. He wasn't having a very good game up to that point.
Lou Williams played 6 minutes.
And so that 6 minutes in the second half. And so he played 17 minutes throughout. But the other element for this is last night, once again, the Clippers are supposed to be a great defensive team without rim protection, which is very difficult to do. The way you do it is you have the greatest collection of perimeter defenders since the mid-90s Bulls, since you had Pippen, Harper, Jordan as perimeter defenders, right? That's the idea. That doesn't play when Kawhi Leonard is standing in the corner guarding Daniel House. He did that the first time around, standing in the corner guarding P.J. Tucker. He did that this time. They've lost 2 of 3 to this basketball team. The first loss was because Harden went off. The second loss because Russ went off. And Kawhi Leonard, if he's not going to play that often, when he does play, he needs to be exceptional. Last night, he was 2 for 9 in the second half with 8 points and 4 turnovers and was not even close to the best defensive player out there. That does not get it done against the best teams in basketball.
I agree. But here we are with Houston looking better in the regular season, shooting a bunch of threes. Where have I seen this before? Mike D'Antoni, right? But again, like you go back to the who's done it in the playoffs before as coach, who's done it before in the playoffs as a player. And I do think, look, the Clippers played a lot of zone in the first half. I still think they're trying to figure out what they have and who they are and how they play. As much as I agree with you on rim protection, when the Rockets go small, you can't really have rim protection anyway, right? Because you're gonna have to match them small for small.
But you're going to need rim protection against the Lakers.
No question. No question. And then are they going to be able to make an addition? You know, so I don't think any of these teams are truthfully whole. Like the Rockets, we know they're going to go out and try and add a piece. The Lakers are going to try and add Andre Iguodala. The Clippers are going to try and
add Andre Iguodala.
Try and add Andre Iguodala, but also not rim protection, but very good defensively. And how much does he have left in the tank? My takeaway was I still think as much as Russell played great statistically last night, he really didn't get it going until James Harden was on the bench. They're still not working together and bringing the best out of each other when they're on the floor at the same time. That takes time, and it may never happen. But I also think that if it's going to happen with Russell at this point in his career, it's going to happen with him off the basketball, which is with James Harden. So, look, I think it was a great win for the Rockets. I think it was a poor performance, not just from Kawhi, but from Lou Williams, and then some poor shot selection at times, shoddy defense. But it's the regular season. The Clippers their plan is to push towards being great in March, April, May, and especially June.
And if they can hold on to the 2 seed, then it will be justifiable. But right now, they've got 9 losses. The Lakers have 5. The Nuggets have 8. The Rockets and Mavericks also both have 9 losses. And the Jazz, I think, at some point, you would think will get it together. Maybe they won't. Maybe the Jazz are just going to be a disappointing team after the big offseason additions. It is absolutely in play. Well, this game we saw last night is the first round in the Western Conference as a 4-5. It is certainly in play. It's the 2-3 with the Clippers as the 3. This whole idea of we are going to take it easy in the regular season so we are more rested in the playoffs, that sounds great until in the first round of the playoffs, you are in a 2-week, 7-game war. Meanwhile, the teams that took the regular season more seriously are sweeping the Sacramento Kings in the first round.
I mean, except for the fact that we've had the Celtics and the Rockets before have the best records in the league, and not win. So we've again, these things we've seen before. Rockets, and I know they're not going to have the best record, but teams having a better regular season record and seemingly an easier path does not mean an easier path in the playoffs.
I like the dramatic effect when you look at me and you tell me. It adds to it. So I think that works. Also,
you lost your train of thought because you like the dramatic.
You looked right at me, and I was like, wow, whatever you're saying must be really important.
It was really important.
Coming up, talk some football. Is Jason Garrett coaching for his job on Sunday? That's next on First Things First.
Whatever the follow-up question was.
Much like
I've never liked you less, Doug.
$500 sales event cash and no monthly payments for 90 days. Only
Time for
Sunday
stories to start your morning. Last night, Giannis dropped 34 on the Lakers, showed off his improved three-point range. He made 5 three-pointers in the game. Giannis also crowned himself, insinuating that he is now the king. Nick, how great was Giannis' performance?
This was so cool to see. I think people might think because I'm a LeBron guy that I was upset by last night. Like, I'm upset I lost my Lakers +4 bet. I will admit that. But Giannis is one of my 5 favorite players of my adult life. He's my 2nd favorite current player. And seeing him, you made this point, Doug, and it's a great one. This is what the 112th biggest game of LeBron's career at this point. Probably not even. He's played more playoff games. This was maybe one of the 10 biggest games, biggest spotlight games.
Biggest regular season game he's ever played.
Giannis ever played in. And man, he was up for the challenge.
Yes. I also think for people who make the argument that guys from the older days, the Jordans of the world, couldn't become three-point shooters, I give you Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Because this is the trajectory. Is if you have the work ethic, you're going to shoot a volume of threes in-game, in practice, and you're watching him improve on the fly. Do I think he's a 5-3 a game night? 5-3 a game guy? No, I don't. Like, I don't even think he does. But it was pretty cool.
But if he can make 1.5 a game at 33%, it opens so many things for them. Like, he does not have to do what he did last night.
Well, look, the way in which traditionally you play a guy who's a limited jump shooter, you play off. The problem with that is if he hits it or if he gets a running start, it's really hard to go.
All right, moving on. The Rockets stormed back from a 17-point deficit last night to beat the Clippers. 122-117 was your final. And that one, Russell Westbrook leading Houston with 40 points, including 25 in the second half alone. Nick, how big of a win was this for the Houston Rockets?
Well, they've now won 2 out of 3 against the Clippers. They did it last night despite the Clippers hitting more threes, despite Harden not playing a great game. And once again, Kawhi Leonard, 4th best player on the court last night. And but the best defender on the court was not Patrick Beverley, was not Paul George, was not Kawhi Leonard. It was P.J. Tucker, who was sensational on the defensive end last night. And again, Kawhi, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, in addition to having, I think, 4 second-half points, he's standing in the corner defensively guarding either McLemore or Daniel House, or 8 second-half points, 2 second-half made field goals for Kawhi, which is probably not the best use of his talents, but in his defense, he hasn't had a day off recently, so he probably was a little tired.
I was impressed by the Rockets, and it was one of those Russell Westbrook games where because Patrick Beverley's on the other side, he unloaded everything in his bag for that game. He played angry Russ at both ends of the court. He doesn't always bring that sort of effort, that sort of intensity. It got Lou Williams thrown out of the game because Lou Williams was in kind of a different place. I think the Montrezl Harrell thing, as much as he gives you on offense, he doesn't give you as much on defense to rebound the basketball.